would say that this is all about economy as opposed to one side or the other, so we'll see who gets that good start with the economy. Guardian already making his way to the bench, and I think he's made his way there without anybody understanding that that is the case. That's always very nice, but now he's going to hit the shots, and he will not. It's Chris instead to make short work of him, and we've got Chris, who is the sole man on the P250, and perhaps that armor pen was what enabled him to have a better fight there. Who knows? Anyway, with Guardian dead, Mousesports have the number advantage. And that is something that can go a very long way, especially considering that FaZe aren't trying to take 1v1s at this point. Mousesports are all gathering up towards top banana. Now looking to go for an assault.
And they still have grenades, Deco with the flash and the smoke. The smoke is selected, the smoke is deployed. But where will the flash go? Ooh, into the front of the site once again. And Nico is still going to get a kill, of course, and he hasn't quite been detected just yet. He's got more out of that than you might expect from such a weird angle. 4 versus 3 with the replant. Karrigan with a shadow advantage, but not a life advantage anymore. Nico still on the site. How long can he remain here? No more kills for him. Rain picking Oscar off in the meantime.
Doing a very good job so far. 2v2, Steeko weak though. Very tough, but he's going to make it work for the frag, and now it's a 1v1. Sunny didn't have the best of times on Nuke, but here now he just toys with Olofmeister. Now it's the mind games. Is Sunny going to try and move past construction? No. Olofmeister wasting some time there. Sunny playing this well. Going for the final peek, and Olofmeister gets the kill, but there's no time for the defuse. Oh, it's pretty close. I hesitated when I finished saying that, but yeah. Sunny did enough. Really nicely done. Wasting Olofmeister's time. Doesn't have to win the fight.
There was a kit on the floor. There was a kit on the floor by the coffins. Olofmeister ran to grab it. Unfortunately, there was already well, the time was already tight, and then Mousesports did enough. That smoke grenade, it's kind of funny. This smoke grenade, I have one. I feel like it's almost the same as the one I throw. From the tree position, you line up with the top of the fence, and it basically bounces off the roof, and it obscures the CTs from seeing towards coffin. So it is a nice nuisance grenade if you have a lurker and you've got some CTs playing in the site towards first or second oranges. It can be a pain. Anyway, you see Guardian moving through the smoke, staying alive, and he can go for a quick flank, but there's another player in the middle area, but he didn't have his gun out. Oscar, though, will still get the kill. And now we have Mousesports advancing. Oscar will be traded, and now Mousesports are stuck because Karrigan's coming in from the library position. However, the bomb has gone down.
Yeah, ideal for them. They got the MAC-10 still. The run and gun with the UMPs is also just as good, really. So it's not really a situation where FaZe are going to be all too happy. They're going to still give it a go, though. Have a UMP of their own picked up. Ropsto will take down Nico. And with Nico dead, the chances are diminishing rapidly. Sunny with a jump and the frag. And things are going incredibly well for Mousesports. This is exactly the start that they needed. Decisive plays from them have rewarded them with the 3 rounds at the start. 3 clean rounds, you know, as clean as you could. Sorry, 2 clean rounds, as clean as you could expect. Because really dealing with that second round buy from a team like FaZe can be very tricky. But they managed to just do it.
So now we've got mostly USPs. I'll quickly talk about that smoke on the B bomb site of Inferno. Devil Walk era Fnatic had a rare strategy where they would wall off the front of old Inferno and deeper into CT spawn, and they would make a play around the construction position. But having one smoke in that position, it still allows you to go for a desperation plant. Again, it obscures the vision of somebody who's in a coffin area. However, they can spray because you have to kind of hug the wall to not be seen by somebody who stays in a coffin position. So if you've got an M4A4, then it's a good angle to spray, and if anybody's there, you're likely to get a kill, I'd say. But yeah, it does cause a number of problems for the CT side, and you don't necessarily need to take the site to get the bomb down. So when you're in a less than ideal situation, it can certainly help to get that extra money.
I like this round from Mousesports. Sort of no messing around, just a sort of running set piece into the B site where you sort of combine the usage of speed and good spacing with just a couple, like a few good grenades. It's not like a full just everybody stand around the car and the logs and just throw smokes and mollies. And that's important because it's those windows of time when you are setting up smokes where you can be vulnerable to a quick pop flash and a peek with pistols. But A nice round from Mousesports. Again, decisive anti-force buys and decisive anti-ecos is an absolute must against FaZe, who are one of the teams in the world that are incredibly damaging if you don't approach it right. So they've avoided those potential hiccups, but now they've got to avoid the real problem. That's the AWP, that's the M4s. FaZe have a buy. Look at Mousesports, man. They got the Mac 10 still. This is going to be interesting.
Mousesports are loving life. It's going to be very interesting, especially if they get anywhere near Guardian, who is naked. He's running around in a nude. Not quite being chased by security just yet. He is on the CT side after all. Now, he's in a position where if he had a flash, he could flash for his teammate to go for a peek in apartments, but that is not to be on this occasion. Olofmeister in an interesting spot if there is a push from the T side, but it goes straight past him. Will he have a role to play a bit later on? Trades will fly in. The Mac 10 getting off to a good start, but Olofmeister still has the high ground. Yeah,
perhaps just looking to try to play off his teammates here. Just very patient. Finds an opening as the smoke diminishes, and that timing. Diffuse Deco. 2 AWPs here for Mouse. This is going to be potentially awkward, actually. Depends how they actually attack this angle, but Oscar's one of the AWPers, and he's got a great start taking down Nico. Aware that Olofmeister is in the apartments, obviously killing someone just previous.
It's awkward though. Oscar's exposed to the graveyard position and Robs can't really cover that, but the bomb is ticking and not in the favor of the CT side. Robs quick on the trigger finger, as is Oscar. They got to let go of one of these AWPs. Surely doesn't quite make it.
Yeah, you don't want 2 AWPs on the T side.
Especially and around where FaZe will be ecoing.
Yeah, like, honestly, it's so... This is a spot, one of the rare spots where it's absolutely fine to throw the AWP away. Because 2 AWPs, as James says, like when you're against pistols and so on Inferno, when it's very difficult to find options for an AWP anyway, it can be more of a hindrance for your entire team than it can be a benefit.
FaZe with 4 smoke grenades. Spoken enough about those. Let's see what they choose to do with them. None deployed just yet. Mousesports very quickly clearing out the top of Banana, but will they continue? And they may be spurred on by this because of the situation they're in. We've got the CTs rotating behind those smokes. Stico managed to get 1 kill, but now they don't know what else is there. Chris J delivering 2 kills with the AWP. Maybe random shots through the smoke. Perhaps the man knows his angles, or at least the common ones. Damage done towards the B bomb site.
How did he get that? I think the second player was towards the coffins. Completely behind smoke.
Now, there might be an opportunity to throw one of these snipers over the banana wall and collect the rifle if it's in a relatively safe position. I'm not sure exactly where Sonny's weapon lies. But that is something to consider. Okay, I think it's in the corner there in front of Rops, if I'm not mistaken. It's hard for me to tell. No, that's just the floor.
Again, one thing that's cool here is that Mousesports, even though they had double AWP, they realized that, okay, we have double AWPs, but the approach should be the same as the previous rounds. We should not care about the fact that we have an AWP and try to play a style that makes sense with 2 AWPs. No, let's go fast, just as we did in our previous anti-ecos, because that's the most optimal way to play this kind of a round. And so I'm very happy that they understand that, because sometimes you just see teams just make the mistake. But not Mousesports, not today. Not yet, at least. They'll re-entry into this B-bomb site. Rain will make his way through the smoke. That's a bit dodgy, but he'll get the traded out, so should be okay here for Mousesports. Looking to find Guardian. Guardian cannot get a frag. And now it looks like they've managed to avoid what could have been something that was very catastrophic.
Yeah, they get the smoke down for safety as well, not knowing quite where the last CT was, and they still have these 2 AWPs. I really think that an AK should have been collected there, but what do I know? Let's see what they do with them. FaZe back on the buy once again. We see the shots from Chris J now. There's the first one. Wow. Lining up towards the coffins, I think, and shooting Nico straight in the face. He just knows too much about Counter-Strike.
That is insane to me. And honestly, that extra kill, it really goes so far. If we look how close that round was, imagine if Nico stays alive because he doesn't get shot randomly through the smoke. But never mind. Let's move forwards, onwards. Now we look at the double AWPs and the potential awkwardness as to how they are going to be using them. Now, FaZe might be a bit confused by the double AWPs as well. And Rops spots a player on the site. Forced back with the incendiary on response. No opening here for Mousesports just yet. And James, eventually, if FaZe play passively, the AWPs will not get value and they'll have to push in because of time.
Yeah, but it's a reasonably standard round for the time being. However, Rain is still top mid, despite these smokes, despite Mousesports' position. And when that smoke disappears, oh, they're ready for it. The AWP misses the first shot, but Stico will trade. So that's one way to get rid of one. There is still a minute on the clock here, but there's a flank. Just as Mousesports move off of top mid, bottom mid has Nico slowly creeping forward. Guardian running distraction while Mousesports tries to clean up. Guardian's been lost. Nico, can he get activated yet? The teaser on the site, 2-on-2 now as he moves into the short position.
Nico focused. He's got to be good on the first shot, and he is. One more player to go. It's Stico trying to play with the grenade. Very nice follow-up. Another player to go is Carrigan, and he's going to make it work. Orb collected. I'll have that. Taking all the orbs back. FaZe with the first round, but only one player surviving. We can't forget that fact. If Mousesports are to get a win here, and they have an amazing bank to play with, if they reset FaZe, we could see a really dominant T side from Mousesports. If that, I don't even understand a world in which Mousesports 2-0 a FaZe in the finals, but they'll definitely be in a very advantageous position.
I understand the world. It's called a Rob's fairy tale.
It is the Rob's fairy tale.
Let's see if it works out.
The FPL fairy tale.
14 million FaceIt points have been deployed. This is really awesome. I love this stuff. I love it. Tweet me. Let me know what you buy with your FaceIt bucks. Your FaceIt... I have no currency that starts with an F. FaceIt francs. Let's do that. Not quite France, but we'll take it. Not Switzerland either. I'll think on a better one, but for now, we'll go with FaceIt francs. FaZe Clan with double UMP. Changing their positions towards the short A area. Guardian much more aggressive. Stico making his way forwards, but sent back again. This is almost a wipeout. Maybe it will be. Oscar, 1 versus 5. Damage must be done by Mousesports in this round.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where you could see maybe they were fiending for that reset a bit too hard. Guardian will get taken down by Oscar, but now that's confirmed his position. And Oscar, he's got some amount of time, but it would take a catastrophic series of mistakes from FaZe to allow him the space to win this round, surely. Oscar moving forward, there's nothing to lose. Their bank is incredible. But there's so much to gain in killing players. You don't have to win the round, just get another couple kills. But how do you do that? They're playing off angles. They're playing bait setups, crossfires. Oscar waiting for a mistake. And there it is! The peek from Olofmeister. Potentially another 1v1 for Oscar to find as he now scours the bomb site, but there's simply no time. Going for the fake hit, baiting out more players. Oscar, can he get one more? That would be phenomenal, but no. Very good attempt, though.
Yeah, he did the best he could. He prioritized damage versus even his own potential to die after the round. But it wasn't to be. However, Mousesports can still buy, and that's why Oscar was so focused on taking as many guns away as possible. And that just shows how much he respects his opponent. It's a lovely shot from Guardian. Very lovely indeed. Glorious. Tactical timeout from Mousesports at the moment. But you see, they understand the situation. And they're not leaving anything to chance.
I think Mousesports were gambling. I think there's like a couple of things going on there. But usually if you run up quad so quickly at that timing, you're gambling that the other team, they got a lot of money, they got a lot of nades, they're going to put a lot of emphasis, maybe even 2 to 3 players at the start of the round towards Banana. We're going to hit a timing and anti-timing by rushing quad, where they will be very weak and have a lack of players. But it just simply wasn't the case, and obviously Guardian was there as well. So the gamble didn't pay off. The risk was not good for them in the end. So I like that they're taking a timeout here. I think that's an amazing time to do it.
They are focused. Grenades deployed to the bottom of mid. Warning explosions. And there is Banana taken, but lots of time for Mousesports to head back there later on. Taking Banana will be expensive for FaZe, and they'll move down with Carrigan and Nico. Carrigan doesn't have a smoke in the hole. Nico does, which may mean that Nico will be staying here for a while, and it seems that Carrigan will use Nico as bait. I'm sure that once Nico starts shooting, Carrigan will pop out. Contact play. In fact, Carrigan started to back off, so we'll see if they play 2 in B or just the 1. They've used a lot of utility as we reached the minute mark for Mousesports.
Yeah, slow default here from Mousesports. I think that's a great response. I think it would have been very good in the last round as well, going back to the fundamentals. So, top banana, they've got Sunny sort of lurking actually towards top mid, essentially. He's alone at the moment. But as far as, FaZe are concerned, they don't have any info towards top mid, so they will have to make an info play very soon. FaZe must confirm what's happening. But maybe they won't have time to do so. Carrigan in the flower position. So often, not checked in time. Will that be the case? Well, there it is, Chris, with a very forward play. His teammate's not able to follow up.
Got to be patient, Nico, and he is. 2 kills already for the CT side. Guardian, so many targets. He's got to be careful, however, because players are close. Carrigan from out of nowhere, looking for the second kill as well. Oscar once again finds himself alone, but the bomb has gone down, creeping through the smoke, or trying to. But Olofmeister has the angle, and it's another successful round. A very successful round for FaZe Clan. Surviving with 4 players is great stuff for them.
Yeah, and the money will be built up enough for FaZe now that Mousesports were just, I think a half buy, if I've read the money correctly. So, I mean, if they had like 1,000 left in the bank, okay, no. Well, yeah. Oh, actually, hang on. Rops has $7,300, so they could actually, if he drops a gun, they could actually legitimately get a buy in here. He could drop an AK. He can buy an AK himself, get full nades and Kevlar. Chris has enough money to buy for himself. That would only leave 2 players who would not be able to necessarily buy an AK. So it looks like they are thinking about it here. They do another tactical timeout, so they are already figuring out, okay, how do they do this? And FaZe have really arrived at a perfect timing because the momentum of Mousesports was pretty huge, and the reset potential on round 6 was very scary. But they evaded that, and now FaZe have stabilized. Some cheeky amount of money in the hole as well, starting to really build that bank.
Cheeky money.
Cheeky.
FaZe not quite comfortable just yet. They will want to build some more cash, and maybe this is a good opportunity for it. Now they know an AWP is in play. They know that it's likely there's a full buy around it, or a forced buy around it. Maybe somewhere in between. Again, a good hold on Banana. Mousesports, will they wait for the minute mark once again?
One thing is, right now there's a question around Banana. Like, the smokes, deep smokes were there from FaZe. If you don't challenge that, FaZe know what you're doing. So some teams decide just not to challenge it, but I think usually that's a mistake in some respect, because generally speaking, because they can just play 4 players towards A, which is kind of what they've been doing. I mean, okay, we'll have another guy floating. It's actually Carrigan floating back towards B from Speedway. So it seems like FaZe are actually questioning that it could be back towards B, but now Carrigan rotates again as Mousesports take top middle. And Mousesports have no presence towards B. They're committing themselves right now to A.
Yes, they have shown nothing towards B so far. And I think sub 30, we may see Nico start to flank. Still staying top banana for now. Carrigan's there in the arch position, picking off Chris J. Sonny being naded into oblivion. Carrigan is going back to B, content with the advantages FaZe now have towards the A site. Nope, staying in CT spawn. Sub 30-second mark, and Nico not flanking just yet. His team have advantages, so they don't necessarily need him to rotate at this point. 19 seconds, still not seeing anything. Seiko trying to force his way through, but nothing doing really for Mousesports at this point. Just running to their doom. These are not the best T-side rounds we're seeing from Mousesports at present, and that's allowing FaZe to build that money. Now we start to see the comfort for FaZe Clan.
Yeah, I'm a really big supporter of challenging, like making sure that you can't allow CT side to have deep control of banana. It's just too much info, and against like a teams like of this caliber, if you're allowing like an extra player, that extra player can be a Guardian or an Olofmeister, Arena, or a Nico, right? So that's something you really want to avoid if you can. You want to keep those questions in mind, and you want to force FaZe not only to have a lack of information, but to play less players per bomb site. So 2 and 3 instead of 1 and 4, which is kind of how it ended up being.
This is round number 10, and Mousesports have 1 tactical timeout remaining now.
I have to say, I do like it. I do. Well, It's obviously not good to only have one left, but I like that they are using them liberally.
It is telling of the issues they're having. So while you might like it, it shows that they're. I mean, it shows that yes, they're trying to fix some issues, but it shows also that they are having significant issues. Pistols and some grenades, a lot of Kevlar for Mousesports in this round. Perhaps we will see the smokes around the pit in the balcony and the flashes over the wall. Only 2 flashes though for Mousesports, and that smoke grenade will be a nuisance.
FaZe don't need to do too much. They can also be content with giving up a bomb plant if they really need to, just to make sure that they're safe against losing the round entirely. Rain will have a nice pixel angle as players come in, actually dropping off, but that's going to work out. The spray follow-up is fantastic, and the round is basically over now as the push has come to a halt, thanks to Rain finding a great timing and a nice continuation spray as well. Surprised that Chris has a Tech Knight equipped, but I suppose maybe, do you think he does that because he prefers it as a companion to the AWP, or?
Maybe he just prefers it over the CZ.
That's madness, James. How dare you say that? That doesn't make sense.
It's about your comfort, ultimately. As good as some people are abusing the CZ, if you find more comfort in an alternative weapon, then that may be a better choice for you. 5-5. Looks good early for Mousesports. And now we're not really seeing a lot from them. Again, they may have to wait for the minute mark before they head towards the banana area. Olofmeister, we saw some bullets flying above his head, and then they started to fly through his body. And then he was dead.
Yeah, that's an opening you're not going to get perhaps more than once in a match, I think. So hopefully, for Mousesports' sake, they use it well. I was about to say as well, they don't seem interested in challenging banana at all. Perhaps they just want to wait for the smokes to go, and then they're going to throw their utility afterwards, which actually could work out. Only Guardian here at the moment. Oh, that's a gift from the heavens. Guardian missing a shot there, allowing them to get space up banana. That is definitely a gift.
There are grenades to be thrown at Guardian's position. Although only Sonny has the high explosive, but he's going to do something or other. I don't know. 40 seconds left, and Guardian is alone. And maybe they've just realized what is going on, FaZe. They've isolated other CTs, but Chris J can't quite find a killing blow. The Molotov will force Guardian forward, but look how careful Mousesports are. They finally land the shot, but Nico's creeping through the smoke. The smoke will be replenished, but Sonny is there. The spray transfer. Nico, how does he find that second kill? 2 on 2. The bomb, will it get planted? No, it won't. Rain doing what he can. 1 versus 1 now. It is Rox with 16 HP versus Carrigan, who's coming in from the back, and I don't think Rox is ever expecting this. Trying to get the bomb down with 8 seconds, and Carrigan is just waiting. Just waiting. Nico with that second kill. How does he do it?
It's disgusting. Absolutely ridiculous. Oh my god. And that was intensely impactful. I mean, just imagine if there's an extra player alive that Robs has to play with that. You know, it's just everything changes. Counter-Strike is just a game of such small margins. And look where it's put Mousesports once again, Half-Life for them. FaZe are right now crushing it. I think that would be 6 in a row for them now. So, a great deal of momentum for them. Guardian really turning up as well, not missing a beat.
Mousesports have gone missing. Time to print on those milk cartons. Two flashbangs and a smoke for the side. Will they go for the desperation plant? Will they deploy the smoke in the middle of the site? Doesn't seem so. Or maybe it is actually. I think Sonny might be lining it up. Let's see. There is a smoke which is dropped. Nope, it's a smoke for CT. Nico on the high ground. Seen him here with a deagle as well, and he drops off and now delays. 5 versus 3. Bomb down in front of the site. Sonny will drown in a pool position. Any kills really are a formality at this point. FaZe will be unfazed. Rops with 43 seconds left. He may have gone past the expected angle, but Nico's in a good spot.
It's all slipping away from Mousesports at the moment after a very good start. And they've not really found a victory on their fundamentals, I would say. I would like to see them challenging Banana more, you know, just really going a bit more ham. On the CT side, we see a huge emphasis on Banana from Mousesports. But on the T side, they have rarely pressure it at all. And we don't see that battle of grenades between the two teams. Guardian, oh, I love that. But Oscar's ready. And that's a good opening.
I guess he was trying to obscure his vision with a Molotov. I haven't quite seen that play before, but it doesn't work out. So that is a big dog put down by Mousesports. Nico smartly just getting out of there while he can. Fortunate with that one. Minute 24, and now Mousesports have possession of Banana early. Still showing presence towards the apartment, towards top mid, but FaZe still have Rain and Olofmeister around short. So what is the next play for Mousesports?
Well, there is the lurk, isn't there? So that's always nice towards A. And now Nico looking for the highlights, but it's Oscar's instead. Nice headshots. And the bomb side is his. And where's the money at for FaZe? Do they have any interest in going for this? They have built up quite a bank, but yeah. Okay, well, I guess they can see if they can get anything done here, but it's going to be very tough to break this. Having an AWP on the bomb side is incredibly strong. It's Oscar as well. They'll push in, though. They do have construction. There's no challenge there. So maybe with this base to work from, they can somehow get a couple kills and maybe a chance at a defuse.
Well, so far so good. The pop flash from Chris J is still alive, and he gets 2 kills out of it, and Oscar will clean up the rest. There was a late re-smoke from Chris J at the front of the site, which most certainly helped, but FaZe looked dangerous, even with that push, which was mostly from construction. An ever dangerous FaZe. Again, they do have the money for a full buy. Straight in the jaw. That is such a flick from Oscar. That's unbelievable. 2 more rounds to fight for. Mousesports will have the shortcomings, the UMP on Destico. Less than ideal grenades. Will they go for an early play towards the Banana position? Chris dropping the bomb to try and get past these grenades, and he may just do that. Indeed, he will. Close to the smoke, but he's going to get taken down. Where's the game sound, please? I think we're on the replay game sound at the moment. So Chris J went for a fast play towards the Banana position. Mousesports a man down early. Carrigan and Nico around the Banana area. The sound is being sorted out. There we go. Thank you. Well, FaZe in control of the Banana position. A minute on the clock. No more smoke grenades for FaZe, but are Mousesports brave enough to head back towards B?
They need to be brave enough to challenge this with a pop flash. They have to expect Carrigan as well. They do. Stico able to quickly end Carrigan, and now it falls to Nico. Around the fountain. That's a good start from Nico. He is isolated by smoke. No support. He's got to do it alone. He will die alone. Sunny takes him out 3v3 as Mousesports hurry onto a bomb plot. Rain getting some damage in there through the coffins. Now perhaps forced through the smoke. He'll actually hold position. And with Oscar in position, life gets hard for FaZe.
Yeah, this position is awkward for Oscar, though. He can't go too deep towards CT because he would be exposed. There's the first shot. Now he can run distraction. Rops has the angle towards coffins if Oscar's angle's tight enough. Great headshot from Rops. Nice adjustment there to pop Olofmeister in the face. And Mousesports are fighting back. There will be some shortcomings to FaZe's buy in the last round. They won't... Oh, they might have an AWP for Guardian, but Rain will be short. And he will indeed drop it. Double AWP. Carrigan's picking one up as well, but he's dropping it. Or is he? All the guns are flying all over the place. So let's see who has the second AWP. It will be Nico. There are so many people who can sniper. I would say that of the snipers at this point, Karrigan is definitely the weaker of them. Not as consistent as he used to be by any means, but Olofmeister and Nico, very competent snipers as well. And Chris J will walk straight into it. Nasty surprise. Grenades come in late for the T side, but Nico's only good for the 1 kill.
Yeah, that's a really nice follow-up from Stiko. Nico not even allowed to hazard another shot. And Nico's so confident and menacing just with any gun. Stiko pushing the issue, making the play, the solo play. Is it good? No, it's not. Now, what does this tell FaZe at the moment? We've got Robs trying to open things up towards A as well. You can see the rotation coming in. Rain's moving backwards and forwards between the sites. Right now, FaZe don't understand what's happening. Mousesports are hitting everything at once. It's all very Fnatic-esque. And Oscar through the smoke wins the duel. This is promising for Mousesports.
Sonny has control of the arch position at the moment, which allows Mousesports the comfort to A, plant the bomb, and B, get into post-plant positions. Oscar going nuclear late in the first half, leaving Karrigan in a 1 versus 3. They've left the arch area now. They will combine the efforts and make this as difficult as possible. Oscar will be the initial engager, and then the trade fraggers will pop out as well. Oscar can re-aggress if he wants to, but he is in the red behind the box. Double peek, could have been a triple, but there we are. Mousesports, after a good start, will have a solid finish and lead by just the 1 round.
That is so good to see, that we actually get some rounds from Mousesports at the end of the half. I was afraid that they just disappeared entirely. I think we started to see, again, we had all those timeouts. We started to see the sort of the struggles and approach, perhaps maybe disagreements even. It's hard to say exactly what, but obviously there was issues. But to get the 3 rounds at the end of the half, to get, you know, a scoreline where they're actually ahead into the second half by a round, that sort of resets everything. And now it's a different story entirely. That CT side, I think this should be easier for them. But let's see how it starts. Stiko, nice flashbang from a teammate. He gets plenty of time. Second kill as well. Backs away. He's got teammates going in for more as well as Oscar and Rops. They're all getting taken down. It's all backfired, James.
Bomb makes its way through apartments. Stiko will be so sad he doesn't get that 3rd kill. That would have been enormous. Chris J, too many angles. Sonny, still possible. It's a pistol round after all, but he's going to get shot in the face. Fortunately for him, it was a Glock. Unfortunately, there are still more bullets, and he'll get shot in the head again.
Wow. Headshot after headshot. There's no unrelenting is Karrigan. UMPs, Mac 10. Nice to see. Scout on Oscar. Now it is Inferno, and Inferno is kind of scary when you're playing versus the CT4 Spy. CT4 Spy is on Inferno. I mean, it's one of the most dangerous maps for the CT4 Spy, I would say, in this situation. And Oscar's scouting. You never know what is going to happen when Oscar's got a scout in his hands. And there's a smoke, the only smoke. This could work out for Mousesports, as we see most of the FaZe players stopped by this.
I like the attempt from Chris J. As we know, his lines through smokes are pretty good. Very experienced man. Mousesports struggling to get info. Hold on a second. Look at Rops. I think he's in apartments at the moment, but there isn't enough of a rotation from the CT side just yet. They need to make their way towards the banana area, to B rather, and they are doing that finally. 2-man rotation. Now, on Old Inferno, if you were in the corner behind sandbags at top banana, you could hear CTs running towards Speedway. I feel like maybe you can sometimes on New Inferno, but I'm not quite sure. We see a rotation from FaZe, and I do wonder if they heard something or not.
That's a very nice shot from Sonny, but unfortunately for him, no happy deagles for him. It's FaZe switching it up towards A. That's a really nice call from Karrigan. Obviously, he was playing information solo as his team was sitting in banana, and so that's how he was able to understand to make this call. Very good basics for the anti-force spy from Karrigan and his lads. Now it's up to them to defend. And there is an argument for Mousesports just to play exits, but the trade comes in and all of a sudden a man advantage is had. Mousesports are going to be looking for more damage and perhaps even a round. Chris is running in. Oh, this is very difficult. Oh my god!
Stiko's got the kit as well. If he can get onto the site and do it, well, the kit's on the site at least. Karrigan's got 7 HP. He's going to go down. Surely this can still be done. Sunny's going to steal the round. He's got the kit from Stiko. And there it is. Mousesports win the Force Buy.
Wow.
Look how focused they are, though. Minimal excitement. Rops cracks a smile. But you see his coach is like, focus, focus, focus. Hand signals that nobody can see.
Great shot from Sunny there. Another one as well into pits. What a round from Sunny. I was really hoping in this position he would just try to wallbang the box with the deagle, but he goes for the sure thing here. And Mousesports, they have created a really interesting situation. This is a spot where, like, you never want to lose the pistol round, but this actually works out better for you economically, because you're against a weaker, like you get essentially more rounds to sort of build up money. In this situation where you reset your opponents after they win the pistol round, because you carry a lot of the value through. What's the plan from FaZe though? There's a smoke onto Karrigan.
Perhaps the bomb plant is the difference between Force Buy and Eco, as they can have the AKs in the next round. 8-9. I'm really wondering where this Inferno is going, but Mousesports need to show us more. Showing us some grenades. Olofmeister trying to pre-fire with low health, but now this is awkward. Stiko and Rox need to cover each other well. This is turning into absolute carnage. Maybe Oscar can help clear it up. Indeed, he can with the least likely position, standing in the middle of mid, but who better than Oscar to deliver the frags? Karrigan still has more work to do. His turn to maim the CT economy, going for a wide peek through Boiler, but Oscar will finish him off with the USP. Oscar killing almost everyone.
And we'll never find out what the plan was behind that singular smoke. But that's okay for Mousesports at the very least. I like that they chose to just go aggressive that round. Just don't allow the pistols to sort of combine and execute a plan. But as you said, it was all about this round for FaZe. They're just biding their time to set up for the AKs in rounds, or the following round, round 19. Let's see if it's going to work out for them. Got ourselves limited grenades from FaZe, but it's enough to get any sort of play that they want. Tag through the wall there from Oscar. He's got to be careful here. Timing is now such that players can push from second mid, and he understands that. Yeah,
he knows. You can see him. He wants to go for the re-peek. He's confident of the kill. Stiko's got to get out of there. He needs to reload his gun, but he is surrounded. They're coming from long and short at the same time.
All right, that's FaZe right there. Olofmeister just walking in and just decapitating people.
Well, that was quite the round. Yeah,
look where it leaves Mousesports. Their money is all messed up.
Ooh. Are we going to see a Force Buy with an AWP?
Yeah, it's interesting. There's definitely there's an argument to just save to actually have a full buy with all maxed out grenades, the AWP and everything. I think against FaZe you have to respect them enough to do that. I really think that that's how you should play it. But I'm hoping they don't go for the Force Buy, but we'll see. I mean, I guess they could drop a FAMAS here, or a UMP from Chris, and they could actually have all rifles, but it depends as well. How much does it change your game plan with Mousesports to have an AWP on the defense with 4 grenades?
I bet they're saying, shall we go double AWP here? Oscar would have no...
okay.
I'm not sure if I saw 2. I think it was just 1.
Yeah,
because Oscar would be naked, and Inferno is a challenging map to have no armor with the AWP, so they're going for it. This is quite a reasonable buy. This is a very reasonable Force buy.
I don't know. They've got no utility, though. It sucks, James. I like utility.
But considering it's a Force buy, I think it's reasonable. The Deagle's in tow as well. Forced away by the flashbangs. And that is top mid control very early on for FaZe. Rain is expecting a lack of helmets. Oh, Chris J looks good for a second kill, but Olofmeister will deny him.
Chris J is such a fiend about charging down Banana as a CT. It's just actually unreal how often he does that.
Interestingly, Oscar is now the last man with the smoke grenade, and he's the last man you want throwing grenades in a situation such as this. Rain desperately picking up the AK-47. 4-on-4, minute mark has passed as FaZe concentrate on the B bomb site, and indeed Oscar has rotated to throw a smoke down towards Banana, but can he get back to B fast enough? A, sorry.
Yeah, this could get pretty awkward. He's going to make his way in. He might get a good shot here. Oh, so fast. Rain. That is Oscar out the picture. With Oscar, I think every hope is dashed. Absolutely, that's the case. That's a shame for Mousesports. Sunny, that's really all he can do to maybe even try to save this M4. I don't know how likely that is. He's going to try to get something done aggressively, and that's kind of what you have to do in this spot. Now, he might have actually created a spot to survive, but no, Olofmeister's not having that. Well, Mousesports, they decided to go for the force buy instead of saving one round and having a full buy with all the nades. And now, they've made their bed and they must lie in it. We've got a full save coming now. Now, look, it's still dropping those facing points. When does it end, James?
Yeah, they're still going and going and going. 10 to 10. No more investment from Mousesports, save for a P250 onto Sunny. Got to tap twice, though. No more one-shots with the P250. Huddling around the A area. And FaZe were very fast to take top mid in a previous round, so Mousesports may be playing on some expectation based on that evidence, but it might be a keen B play.
Ooh.
Rain will be heard, and that is a welcoming party, but the rest of them can charge into the B bomb site or hold the superior angles, and it may be a bit of both. The bomb will get planted. Stico will run away with his AK-47, and Chris J will try to get something out of this. He can wait here for some exit frags if FaZe choose to come back in this direction. That the bomb blast is going to launch that AK in his direction as well. So let's see. FaZe, they haven't opted to try and secure CT spawn. So there is a chance. Oh no, Guardian's taking the AK away. Look at that. Look at that smart stuff. Presence of mind. It's like, even that's going to be disposed of. Let's make sure they get nothing out of this. Everything sent to CT spawn. There's Chris J trying to find the weaponry. He knows it's been taken away. Can he find a kill around the corner? No. He'll be launched into the wall.
So now it's time for Mousesports to get a buy-in, and are they going to be able to afford full grenades with everything? Let's see if that's the case.
I think Chris J is contemplating AWP no Kevlar right now because he hasn't bought anything. He's got 49.50 during his tactical pause. But the problem is, if you have the sniper and no grenades, you can go to, like, in front of library on A. You can go site B, maybe CT B where the smoke's normally coming for the T side. There's a lot of places you can't go. You can't go top banana at the beginning of a round. Maybe later on you can, but that's if you are still afforded. So it's a difficult spot to be in on Inferno, and he will shy away from that and go for the M4 and Kevlar.
Well, looks like we will see the rifles and some late buys there from Mousesports. But again, I don't know when we've really seen them have full utility, and it's so important on this map. If you want to have banana control, you need full utility, but they don't care about utility. They're just going to push. Rops with the support there, Sunny, and the trades are there. And Chris, that is very important. You don't want to go 1-for-1 as the CTs. Chris makes it slightly better than that. It's a 3 versus 2 thanks to him. And if there was a plan for FaZe in this round, it's been completely crushed. And it's going to all be about playing this mid round out. Oscar, oh, that's very nice. Info for him. But Guardian is absolutely capable of clutching this. He's got a smoke, a Molotov. He can do this.
Yep, Stico's made it to construction already, and he has stopped making noise. Guardian's got a minute on the clock, though, so he can afford some time to try and clear this area out, but he won't do that. Stico harassing through the coffins, but giving his good friend a lot of respect. Guardian makes a step. He can be heard in construction. Flashbang over the wall. Doesn't flash him, though. Down to the 1 versus 1, but Chris J is finally in position, and he will take the sniper rifle as well.
I was really worried there. It's really interesting. Do you push the molly or do you not? I was worried that Chris wouldn't have been in position for Mousesports, but he was just in the nick of time, so he can trade it out. What a crazy round! And again, it's a situation where Mousesports win the round, but their economy's not being super amazing. So again, they might be in a situation here where they could be lacking some utility. Actually, though, Chris J could drop a rifle, which I think he's doing, so that should help them bolster the situation. But they actually opt for a double AWP, so once again, they're lacking utility. But, I mean, if they want to play this style, that is their choice. And so far, you know, they're making some of those rounds work.
They have the talent to make up for this utility with AWPs. That said, FaZe did a good job of flashing Oscar off everything in previous rounds, and are doing it again. Has Nico been spotted?
Yep.
Either way, he's dead. That leaves 2 players around A, and again, that lack of utility you mentioned, Dan, maybe forcing these plays. It is high risk. It's not hard to see somebody making their way towards the balcony position, and you can spray them through the wall panel, so there isn't really anywhere to hide in there.
They actually Molotov'd it, and he was getting tagged by the Molotov, so they heard that. He couldn't go back because he would die in it, so he had to just go forward, so he was just stuck there. Disaster strikes. But when disaster strikes, just call Oscar, and he will fix everything for you. It's good timing for Sunny, actually. And all of a sudden, there's a big chance here now for Mousesports.
These flashbangs onto Oscar are solid, but Rops and Sunny are doing great things. The flank is there, the trade is there. Both AWPs will survive, and that's quite key because the Mousesports economy is still being kept quite short, and FaZe still have another buy. And if they plant the bomb in this round, then they will have another buy. However, if they are to buy in this round, then 2 players may be short. You see, well, you can't see it on your screen, but Nico's got 2,500, Guardian's got 3,000, but the other 3 players are 4,000 and above. So there is a decision to be made. Only 2 people surviving for Mousesports will surely spur FaZe towards a buy, and that's exactly what they will do.
How scary is Oscar? He's actually having a great grand finals. He's on 23 kills at the moment, leading the way for his side.
It's pretty crazy. Again, we mentioned how much FaZe are flashing him off pretty much every position he wants to take, and he's still got 23 kills. That's crazy. He's
doing a really remarkable job. And again, like this style of play in which Mousesports are playing, it can look really sloppy because if you don't have utility and you're not playing that style, as you said, you know, you have to take risks and play aggressively here and there and make awkward plays. And they've been doing that a lot. And it's, I think, making the game a bit weird for FaZe as well, to be honest.
There it is, flashes again. Every time Oscar peeks, he gets blinded. If you're a Mousesports fan, this has got to be nervous territory. Surely still underdogs, even at this point. Chris J holding down the banana position for the time being. Has support from Sunny if required, but Sunny's starting to rotate. Perhaps the smoke grenade was deployed. 4 on 5, and this is not an ideal round for FaZe. Their money is going to run out at such a crucial point of the game as well. Is there a gap in the smoke? Rain starting to move forward, but Sunny sees him. There is a trade, but 3 on 4. He's still got a crossfire. There is still possession of the pit. What can FaZe really do with this?
Oscar's still alive as well. Always going to be an issue. Or they're going to try to make their way to Speedway. Oscar will surely have an angle. Yes, he does. Nico, will he be looking for it? Jumps across, but Oscar, of course, catches him in midair. Oscar is hitting some form here in this grand finals. Karrigan and Guardian are the last men standing now for FaZe, and they have to contest this crossfire. Oh my god. Well, it will be isolated. Chris J is the last man here, but he's on point as well. Now it's down to Karrigan. Looking to try to get something, but all the time he wastes, it's not really a waste of time, but all the time it takes to get these kills. Teammates are coming in for Mousesports. Chris, though, puts the barrel in his mouth and pulls the trigger. 13 to 11. Mousesports 3 rounds away now, and they've crippled the economy of FaZe.
Man, Chris J did him like Marlowe in The Wire.
Oh, no.
I need to see this.
Oh, no. Oh, in the chest.
2 steps were enough for Chris J. It's been a good tournament for him so far. Mousesports are 3 rounds away from 2-0ing FaZe in the grand finals of ECS. A tournament where, going into the finals, people were saying, there is no one here to stop FaZe.
This is the thing, is that Mousesports' run can be perhaps discredited by some critics just in the nature of like the disparity between the groups, right? They'll say, oh, you know, they got there because they had an easier group and all that. But if they're able to actually topple FaZe or even take them, you know, all the way deep into a third map, they're going to gain the respect regardless, I think, with the play that they've been making in this series. Oscar has been turning up. We've seen also Chris J having a hell of a game. Rops is doing his thing. Steeko as well. Sunny not as hot as in the semis, but see if he can change that. He's going to be tested now. The UMP is out, but not in time.
Might be an overextension from the CTs. It's all falling apart. 2 kills though for the CTs. Can they get any more out of this? It's all eyes on Mousesports, says opportunity knocks, but a miscalculation perhaps towards that banana position. The rush just not expected, and FaZe may get way more than one could expect from this situation. Rop's in an awkward angle with an AWP. Not necessarily a spot he wants to be in right now. What has happened to his rifle?
He swapped out for the UMP, which may actually have been better in this spot. We'll have to see. He's going to try to make this work. Oh, that's a great shot straight into the face. One more from Rops, and now it's just Olofmeister remaining. He's got to go through the smoke. Oh, Rops! He makes it work, but does he have time? Oh, no! He doesn't have time, and where's the money for Mousesports? That's the question now. Could they afford to lose this round? Looks like they may just have enough to force it up, but hell, I mean, James, they've been forcing it up and never having utility anyway. It doesn't matter for them.
Oh my god, Rops, what are you doing with this weapon? This is ridiculous. Oh, he's so deserving of the defuse. They could eco Mousesports. They could eco for the next round. Oh my god.
The trust
dude.
he had there. He didn't turn away straight away because he knew he had to go for the full defuse. Oh man, Stiko's going to be kicking himself.
That was insane. But it wasn't enough. Now, Mousesports, they could have ecoed one round and been in a better buy situation, but they've opted for the Force. And it's not a Force with 2 AWPs, it's 1 AWP, 2 UMPs, and we'll see what Rops leaves Spawn with. God, maybe they needed that timeout just to take a moment and calm down. That was absolutely insane.
They have 6 grenades at the start of this round. I know I keep bringing up grenades, but it's kind of a big deal. I mean, maybe with the scoreline, maybe you think I'm wrong, but generally on the Inferno CT side, it's kind of a big deal. 6 grenades for them. Look at the aggression. Chris, run and gun. No success. Can Sunny do what he could not? Looks like he can. He gets the frag, but can he get the gun? Nico denies him. Oscar is in now. One at a time, they step up to the plate, but they're being batted out of the park by FaZe.
I feel like if they weren't to map up, they might eco that round. But they're willing to take the gamble. Again, they've got the players, they've got the skills for it. Even Rops with the AWP appears to be quite something. Stiko towards the arch position. Smoked off, but teasing Karrigan. Karrigan closing the distance now as Stiko reloads his weapon, and Karrigan does not fear. 4 versus 2. And we ask much of Rops again, or really it's 4 versus 1 because only Rops is on this B bomb site, lining up for him, but he can't quite do it, not this time.
This is going down to the wire. Oh my god. Oscar really needs to save this, but at the same time, if we can see the money of FaZe, they can't afford to lose any players. They have no money themselves. I mean, maybe they'll challenge with 1. But honestly, I think it's completely fine to just look after their own economy. That said, if you do allow, Oscar to save an AWP into a next round, he's fully capable of winning a round by himself against anyone, and everybody knows that.
Look at the man. If anybody was just watching the team camera for Mousesports, there saw Rops just resting his head on his hand for a few seconds, and that doesn't bode well. That was a big gamble for them that round, in my opinion, and it didn't work out for them. And they know what this means. They are not the favorites for this map anymore. Their percentages will go down dramatically as these rounds come and go. Clean $2,000 on some of these players. Oscar has got to go absolutely nuclear in this round. AWP looks like it's heading into the apartments, but if he just stands towards the balcony, he may not have a great time, but perhaps it will be a channel with which to save See Sunny with a smoke grenade. FaZe don't need to do anything crazy. There's lots of time. They don't know how many smoke grenades there are for the CC side. However, there's a minute 20 on the clock, so they won't be too concerned.
That was actually very perfect the way Mousesports did this. They had one single smoke, and obviously the risk is really being taken by Oscar towards A. So if FaZe are trying to rush B, that one smoke stops them. So that gives Oscar more time to find engagements, and maybe he will.
Off angles being held by Rain, and he is ready for the shot. That is everything in this round for Mousesports. Taken away. FaZe will charge, and that gun's not going to be retrievable. Everybody else on B for the Mousesports side. God, this is tense stuff, Dan. This is tense watching.
It's really hard to say where this is going to go. And again, like the Mousesports CT decision-making with their economy, I honestly think they've been kind of reckless with it. And as you say, maybe there are some elements to it that, you know, they've been deterred from making some other decisions based on the fact that they are up a map. And you know, who really knows what exactly goes towards some of these decisions, but they certainly have made it intense.
Yeah, they were force buying with some people on like 3,000, 3,300, and it wouldn't be a perfect buy afterwards, but it would be a little more. I wasn't paying attention if that AWP was rotated, but the bomb may send it. Christian might die here. Yeah, but the I don't know if the AWP was taken away, but perhaps it would have gone in his direction. Anyway, here we are. Mousesports. It is now or never. Well, it is now or a third map, but it's now or never on Inferno, because if you lose this round, you're not going to have much. Going to have to try and kill people with a Hotel Iron.
I mean, it's like, I don't think there's been one round where Mousesports are maxed out on utility. I don't think there's been one round like that. Well, Sunny's going in. They love to go in! Sunny with 3! And that's massive there. The deep smoke as well. And now FaZe are in so much trouble in this round.
Wow. Sunny appears through the clouds.
Well, don't need utility, I guess, James. I'll shut up now.
Just need to force the issue.
I would like to say that they have been doing that push very consistently. So it could perhaps be an oversight of FaZe.
He came in with that.
Expect that.
He came in like that son from Teletubbies with that massive smile.
What, the baby?
He's laughing at them with the baby's voice and face. I don't know. I don't know what that means, Dan. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means. The bomb is on Banana. What do you do now? What's the money on FaZe? Can we see? Show me the money. Where's Cuba Gooding? Well, okay, it's okay. It's all right. It's all right, but again, it's another situation where at 14-14, someone's going to lose a round, and their money's going to be absolutely wrecked. Rain's got 1 kill out of this. How much more mileage is there for Rain? He's got just shy of $8,000. And now he's got his loss bonus as well. Just now look at the FaZe money once this buy comes in. Oh, Sonny, look at him go. Look at him go, Dan.
Oh, man. It's perfect, isn't it? I think there was an HE that exploded that actually kind of obscured where he was as well to maybe the player right at the back. I think everything just like all the stars aligned.
Sonny had that garden hose, man. Photosynthesis on Banana.
Do they not have money for 4 grenades even after winning that round with 4 play? Do they have money still?
I don't know. Never mind. Let's focus on the game.
Okay, yeah.
14-14. Banana will be... Oh! Almost. Almost. Doesn't matter who you're rooting for. Things are pretty damn tight at the moment. This is tense. Hug your waifu pillow.
Now this is interesting because we saw this test from FaZe onto Mousesports. Deep Banana Smoke. What are you going to do about it? That's the question. And how will Chris play it? Again, you don't want to play this too aggressively. Chris, he has no support. He cannot die. You cannot die in this position. You're all about information gathering. He doesn't have an AWP either, so you can't really go for those picks. And they're coming.
I'm scared. Oh, God, this is just so nerve-wracking. Chris J alone on the B bomb site. 2 players close to Arch on A, but no one really looking for info. So if FaZe were to head towards B, that retake's going to be really hard for Mousesports. 45 seconds on the clock. Carrigan around the apartment. 2 players in Banana. 2 players top mid for FaZe Clan. But what are they trying to sell? 35 seconds. The bomb's in second mid.
Carrigan with the solo plate through that. Actually doesn't go commit with it though, he's just going to harass, and they're sort of faking it, and then it's all on to Chris J once again. He's got the AK though. It's not an AWP, but it's pretty good, and we know what he's capable of. We've seen the highlights. There's the first player immediately annihilated, boost up onto the flower bed. It's going to be missed the first time around. Is there going to be a chance for a frag? No. Guardian shuts him down and out. Oscar, what can he do? Whiffs the shot as well. It's disaster upon disaster for Mousesports.
3 versus 4. They've got one flashbang, and that is it. They just need kills, man. They need to go in there and grind these fools out. Awkward angles. Stiko alone around construction. The bomb ticking. Stiko's the only man with a kit. Oscar running distraction. Stiko staying quiet, but how do they find all these angles? Stiko saving the day. 2 versus 2. The bomb continues to tick. Oh my god, Carrigan, he's got 20 HP. 1 versus 1. Oscar, he doesn't have time. Surely there's no time.
Oh, he didn't have the kits.
Oh, it's so far
man.
away.
Oh, that is so incredibly close, but Oscar at the very least will survive. But FaZe, they're on 15, the final round. FaZe need this victory here. They have to win this map to force it to 3 against Mousesports. But Mousesports, equally, they have the tools to make it overtime. And the crazy thing is just that all the small things, going wrong here just adds up for Mousesports.
Right then, let's see what both these teams can do. Utility not ideal for FaZe, but of course there's more pressure on Mousesports in that regard. Banana not being contested by the T side just yet. They do not want to make many errors. I would love to see overtime. I would love to see overtime because I can barely watch this. This is crazy.
Yep, here it is, the challenging through the banana smoke. Checking every single position. Tension is so high for every single player. And FaZe not only have to win this grand final, they have to make sure they don't lose it against Mousesports. For them, that would be a big knock of confidence. And for Mousesports, it would mean the world. Top mid taken, top banana taken by FaZe. The default has worked out. Mousesports forced back. Mousesports on 2 flashbangs.
There's Chris J looking for the information. Something they didn't do in that last round, really. They left B in such a vulnerable position. Big gambles. Oscar in the same position as that previous round. And now players head towards the B bomb site. There isn't even a flashbang for Mousesports to go for information. Sunny is moving deep away from the B bomb site, but he can't move too far away because he's got a UMP. A smoke lands. Again, there's no flashes. He's going for a gamble play. They're lining up for him. It's only 1 kill though. Chris J sits in the back once again. I'm sure they will look for him in the same position. They're streaming around him. Nico looks the wrong way. Chris J's still alive, buying some time. He thinks Olofmeister, 3 versus 2. Are we going to overtime that?
It's very possible. There's no grenades for anyone. They push through the smoke together, and together they make it work. 15-15, overtime, the first overtime, and it's in the grand finals.
Turn off the damn music. It's overtime. This match is not over yet. Man, I need a breather. Not even because of my asthma.
This is something else. Mousesports, they've honestly played very unorthodox with how their economy's been working out on the CT side, but it's the CT side that's really been quite successful in some respects. Some of these unorthodox pursuits, I don't even understand in some cases how FaZe sort of get caught off guard by them. But enough about that. First round of overtime commences here. Grand finals of ECS Season 4 here, live from Cancun, Mexico, and still aggression from the Mousesports side on Banana. They love it.
Hard Rock Hotel has never seen action like this. That's before you get to Sadikist's Instagram. Chris J still entrusted with the B bomb site alone and all of Banana. He is scoped up, but we can expect the flashbangs to come from FaZe later on. We are heading to that magical minute mark. Nico's in a position where he can throw flashes over into the banana position. That's the common place. The stairs into T-Apps One will jump and throw from there, but FaZe have angles of their own. Mousesports with utility, slowing FaZe down beyond the expected time. And now Sunny, he'll be in the arch position, just in case. On A, Mousesports playing the crossfire. They're playing pretty deep in A. So it's pretty much a guessing game as to what FaZe's intentions are. That's a late smoke down the bottom of Banana. There are 30 seconds remaining when Chris J gets forced away by the Molotov. That will cause Sunny to start rotating, but really, FaZe, Mousesports have no idea what's going on. It seems the B-split is real. Oscar, he delivered last time from this position. This time the smoke is down for FaZe. Will he continue though? One player will wait for him. One player will head forwards. No kill for Oscar just yet. A second attempt. There is a CT by Construction though. In the meantime, Chris J holding things down around the fountain, and there's Sunny from Construction. 5 seconds for this bomb to go down. 4 seconds, it's too late. The round has been won.
Unless everyone somehow dies, but that's not going to be the case. Mousesports, round number 1 in the bag. Oh my god. I just don't even know. Like, it's just... It would be so incredible for them to be able to make this story actually a reality. FaZe, though, they are quite the giants. But right now, Mousesports are doing a pretty darn good David impression.
Yeah, man like Rops. Definitely David. He's got the sandals on. He's got his small boulder. And his rope. Don't go back, Chris. Don't go back. The flames will deny you. More Molotovs trying to charge him, perhaps, or perhaps not. Maybe trying to pull rotation. Maybe that's all they can do. Carrigan, he'll be the man to head forwards and try to clear Banana. Should he go down, it makes it easier for him to push the rest of his team, but he doesn't want to. Not in a 4 versus 5. Are FaZe committed to this? Doesn't seem clear. No information peak from Mousesports. No flashbang mid, no nothing. They're just waiting every round, relying on individual skill.
So well-timed grenade from Chris, but look how committed FaZe are. They just have to go through it. Sunny in position, throws the incendiary, maybe a bit too slow. Down to Chris, around the pillar, gets 2. That's pretty huge considering you already got 1 previous in the round. Now there's a chance here for Mousesports on the retake. They have the man advantage. And smokes will start to dissipate. The nades are low here for the FaZe side, but not for Mousesports. But Olofmeister on the AWP. He's seen how strong it is from this position, and he will equalize.
There's a flash onto Stico, but may not be safe for him to throw it. There's a smoke to try and obscure Olofmeister's position towards CT. That bomb's ticking though. They've both got kits. Who's going to win the duel? It will be Rain, of course. AWP for Oscar cannot land the shot. A must-win round for FaZe, and they will be successful. We move to the last round of the first half.
And that's one of the scary prospects we see when you decide to, when you have an AWP on this bomb site on the defense and you die, and you know that AWP goes into the hands of the Ts when they are playing post-plant. It's actually very powerful in post-plant. It's generally as a T side, it's the question about how do you get the AWP to that position. So FaZe 16-16 in a 1 round apiece. Now, who is going to be able to take that advantage into the second half? That's the question. Double up here for Mousesports has been pretty damn useful so far. And again, that the general lack of utility has not really concerned them, as they've been fairly successful going aggressive, at least to Banana, in a lot of these rounds. FaZe just chilling at the moment, playing a slow tempo.
We're kind of going through the motions, I feel, in these scenarios, although there is a smoke top mid, so that's something different. Sorry, top Banana. Oscar with another tag. So that's one thing we've been missing, is the aggression towards top mid from the CT side. I mean, yes, it has its own risks, but with a bit more information from Mousesports, they might have better time of things on their CT side. Running low on utility now are the Mousesports team, but there are some more flashbangs to be had. A different setup from Mousesports towards Banana at the 45-second mark. 1 person spotted. Will they put an extra man in either direction, Mousesports?
Oscar will rotate slightly there. Of course, the smokes being down forces him to do so.
They're faking him out.
But it doesn't matter. Oscar does not care. He will find a way. Robs has a great position to play off Stico. The dynamic duo here. Let's see if they can do something. There's the trade from Rob. Steeko now 1v1 versus Nico, and he wins it. Bomb at his feet. Now it's just down to Carrigan. He's already on 22 health. The run and gun. It's successful, and that's Mousesports with the advantage into the second half of overtime number 1.
That was really awesome, especially Oscar. He's just always thinking. They put the same smokes down as when they wrapped towards the B bomb site and Oscar was stuck in CT spawn. That's the 3rd time that they've done it at the very least. But Oscar is like, where is everyone? Where are the people I'm supposed to kill? Okay, I'll go towards Arch and start shooting people there instead. And that gives Mousesports enough information to have a 1-round lead moving into the second and maybe final half of Inferno. Inferno, yeah, I don't know, too much caffeine. Of Inferno, or maybe even this entire match. 1 AWP for FaZe as opposed to the 2 on the Mousesports CT side.
Right, FaZe looking to hold on to top banana at the moment, but there's the flash through, and the entry comes Chris J's way. Will he spot sandbags? Too late. Nico's in. That's a frag for him, equalizing the situation. But Rops looks to make a play towards Rain. But the problem is Rain has a perfect off angle because Rops, he can't peek and just look at Rain's position. He has to look towards the site. There's too many angles, but he has the flash to do it. That's perfect. The flashbang was absolutely phenomenal.
Rops gets robot.
The entry, and Olafmeister knows he has to go and make a play, and he will.
The bomb site has been taken, though. 3 players in the pit, and there's a smoke down towards the Arch area, and Guardian does not have enough of a gap. Has he got any curious lines with which to shoot, though? Bomb getting planted towards the pit position, and we have a player in Graveyard as well. There's one more smoke on Rops, actually. If he can get into position to re-smoke Arch, that will help, but he has a job to do holding down short and maybe the apartments as well, so he may not feel like he's got time to deploy that smoke grenade. Sometimes the gun is more important. Molotov's going down from both teams. Olafmeister caught repositioning. Steeko's been naded into oblivion, and there's Rops delivering a kill onto Guardian. Are we looking at match point here for Mousesports? Nico versus 2. They're not giving it to him. He's got to go for the bomb. It's on the other side of the site. He smokes off Rops, but he can't get anywhere near that bomb. They're just teasing him. Cannot be done.
Great play from Mousesports, and this is a pretty cool style of Inferno to see from them. You know, we see that pressure towards the banana side of the map, and whilst they're doing that, really threatening it heavily, we've got Rops making plays from the apps. And what plays he's making. I mean, we can't, of course, forget the flashbang from the teammate that was just absolutely perfect. And for Rops to understand, to gamble, that Rain was on that alpha angle really shows his understanding of his opponents and his position on the map. So, as you say, 1 round is all they need.
Rops from Gold League to FPL to Mousesports to match point versus FaZe, looking for a 2-0, but Guardian says no, at least for the time being. Chris J not shy to get aggressive. The in-game leader for Mousesports, maybe a weight off his shoulders. Doesn't look like FaZe are done yet. 5 versus 3. No answer from Mousesports, no damage, no significant map control, nothing doing for the T side right now.
Yeah, fluffed smoke as well. I mean, they were supposed to block Rops, but Rops might feel like, hey, I've got a chance here now to get in, now that smoke has been missed. But obviously it's very difficult, and with a 2-man advantage, FaZe just should not be in a position to lose this round. Oscar harassing towards B, really trying to fake it out a little bit, maybe cause some rotations or movement. But with 5 players alive, there is no argument for FaZe to move from their positions. None.
FaZe are non-believers. They do not want to join your religion. Rob's doing what he can. This round is over now. And it's about winning the next one. But in the meantime, Oscar can try and take things away. Ooh, $4,200.
Yeah,
sure,
actually,
he'll pick up the AWP again.
I was about to say, imagine had they gotten at least like 3 or 4 kills. Like, that would have put FaZe in such a weird position. But they're untouched.
Well then, we reached the last round of the first overtime. And this may be the best opportunity, this round or last round, they're pretty much the same. The best opportunity for Mousesports to win the match. See what they have to offer us. Lost Chris J early in the previous round. he won't make the same mistake. Although FaZe have confidently put 4 people in the A bomb site, maybe feeling like they had deterred Mousesports in the previous round from going towards B. They'll take a risk and bolster the defenses. Maybe in case of a fast play towards A, they were correct about the aggression towards B at the beginning of the rounds. But how will FaZe play it now?
Very, very tense. Just like that first frag means so much. Sunny, does he have a flashbang here to peek with some utility to block off some of these angles? Obviously, you don't want to walk into a crossfire without the aid of utility. Looks like Rops is setting up a smoke, and there, or rather a flashbang. There's a smoke for a teammate as well. The peek comes in, and Rain is so strong, isn't he? 3 kills. What do you say to that? How do you deal with that? What is the answer? I don't know that there is one. Just got to try to make a big play. Chris and Oscar, those are the guys to do it, but they're being naded to oblivion at the moment.
Nico need not peek. Play the clock. 3 people surrounding the B bomb site so far for the CTs. The grenades continue to stream in. There are no more smokes for the Ts to isolate, to try and get better duels. Surely Chris J gets traded immediately. He won 80s. Close, but not quite. We go to overtime number 2. This is not over just yet.
Oh my god. And Mousesports have to really just stay ultra focused here. I mean,
my god.
We know how much they have sort of lamented previously, feeling as though they've sort of had spots where they could just close a match down, but they're not being able to achieve it in the manner that they wanted. But obviously, you're in the match right now. Everything is about just staying round to round, stay in the moment. You can't allow anything to sort of affect you subconsciously and potentially impact your performance. What a draining game for both sides.
This is madness.
It gets so weird. When you play overtimes, things get really weird because both teams have sort of gone to all their strategies and you've sort of made all these reads, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, now we've sort of kind of thrown most of our playbook, or if not all of our playbook, at one another. So what do we decide to do now? Do we try to mind game them, or do we just keep playing it out?
Rain spilled water on himself.
Oh dear.
So Sexy Man Rolled has come to assist him with some paper towels. Man, so we have a small pause during this madness, a breather for everybody. You can see Rops, you do wonder if you do wonder if Rops is feeling the pressure now. Where's Rops cam? Give me Rops cam, damn it. I don't need to see Rain wiping himself off. That's the last thing I want to see right now. That's not Rops. That's not Rops. That's not Rops. Okay. It's an awkward camera, but
there we go.
He's got to be feeling the pressure now.
It doesn't look a happy camper, that's for sure.
I wouldn't say unhappy. Well, maybe some frustration because match points have come and gone, but there's still a game to fight for.
To be honest, he's kind of looked like that the entire time.
Yeah, but he hasn't had his hand on his face. That's significant.
It's that James Bardoff, ex-CIA, master of body language and reading people.
I actually have a book on body language written by a guy who used to work by the CIA. Excuse me, meant to mute my mic. FaZe Clan will continue on the CT side.
Ooh.
That was an awkward duel, but Guardian will prevail. That book, by the way, was written in partnership with Phil Hellmuth, poker player, about poker. I'm not just like some weirdo guy. This is looking good for FaZe in the first round of overtime too. 5 versus 3. Have Mousesports run out of steam? Is there no more gas in the tank? Are the batteries dead, Dan?
I don't know if they run out of steam. I think they've just run into a wall. And I think the wall is called Rain at the moment. He's been remarkable on these defenses around the quad position. Oh, that's a bit awkward, isn't it?
Spacebar to jump.
There we go. There we go. Sunny elevated. Not sure exactly. I mean, there's whether or not FaZe understand this is going on, but Sunny is gonna be as sly as he can.
What if he jumps on these balconies?
Yep.
40 seconds left. Nobody giving anything up from FaZe Clan. Come to us. Why don't you? A fourth man rotates towards the A site. Mousesports have a flashbang.
This position is pretty interesting. The smoke actually covers it from the pit player, or maybe it doesn't actually. Sonny Robs to get a frag. Robs another frag, and maybe there's an opening, but now Robs is the only man alive. And he's got very little health. It doesn't bode well for him.
Just imagine the mouse movements required to try and avoid getting trade fragged in that situation. FaZe take the first round. Just a reminder, Mousesports are a game up at the moment. They are fighting to 2-0 FaZe in overtime, and FaZe just trying to hold on at the moment, but doing a good job now. It seems that momentum is firmly swung in their favor, and they have changed the science of gravity.
It's that CT side, I think, in many respects as well. It was just so strong for them. And I don't think Mousesports really ever in regulation found a great answer for it, despite picking up a lot of rounds. And I also feel like Mousesports' CT side is pretty volatile, so I think FaZe are definitely favored, but oh man, Oscar's taking a beating from grenades. He'll be beaten into a pulp, unrecognizable. Guardian with a whiff though, will actually afford a ChrisJ a forward position. Oh, the flashbang's pretty good. They're trying to follow up. He gets it. Where's the trade? Goes through the smoke. Chris, white peak. What on earth was that? Chris, what a play. That's what they needed. And now they're in for a hell of a round. But Carrigan wants to stop it all.
Stico caught getting into position. Carrigan ahead of the Molotov already. There's no defense for the bomb plant. Robs and ChrisJ remain. There's still a minute on the clock. How is there so much time left? They could even go for a crazy rotation at this point. Bomb plant is going down. Robs is blind, trying to stop Rain from... Okay, the bomb is down, but it's Robs 1 versus 2. Moving through the smoke, he's got to be so careful here. Rain is just waiting for it to dissipate. They spot each other, but Rain, it's always Rain. Rain always wins, always. How did ChrisJ even create that scenario in the first place?
Yes, it's actually incredible. It's funny, I think just it's a sort of a misread from Guardian's support there, whereby they don't expect ChrisJ to be as far up as he is, because we see, I don't know, actually, you know what? ChrisJ's just a god, man. I'm just, screw it.
Everyone's turned up to this map of Inferno, by the way. On both teams, everybody is fragging. Are we going to see a 3-0 half now from FaZe? That might be too much pressure for Mousesports. Against 3 game points, Guardian. How hungry is he? Not too hungry. Had his fill at the barbecue, perhaps. The chicken is good.
Guardian, ready. Nice repositioning there. Oh no, we've seen it before. It's happening again. And now how committed are you, Mousesports? Just lost 2 players. You're getting smoked out. 2 players lost, no answer. It's not really a position you want to be in.
Yeah, Mousesports team may be replaced by smoke. The lungs are black. Breathing is hard. When you're getting choked out by FaZe Clan. Guardian with his 3rd kill, equaling Rain's performance earlier on in that same position. Oscar and Robs, dynamic duo, being asked a lot of. Robs' gun may have been seen by the pit player, putting Olofmeister in the red. There's a chance here. Spotting a player towards Arch, but the spray's not there. And neither are any rounds in that half. Game point, game point, game point for FaZe.
Yeah, it's looking really grim for Mousesports now. And again, if we think about how they win rounds on the CT side, it's just not really consistent. It's very volatile. It was hinging upon a lot of crazy aggressions. And I think to some extent, some of those aggressions were, like, could have been easily sort of accounted for by FaZe. So we'll see if there's any adjustment from FaZe in that sense, if they'll be expecting that. It would be quite interesting to see if Mousesports do just go for these insane pushes down Banana once again.
Grenades streaming down the middle area. Mousesports have much work to do, and the CT side was a struggle for them. Again, ChrisJ had a difficult job, but they do start with the 2 AWPs to dual orbs.
Playing it passive, as they should.
That flashbang will take a very long time to burst. You would occasionally see this from Arch, but I've never seen it from short before. And I don't have much hope if the CT start moving in. We will see. Well, he's thought better off it. Again, Mousesports not really doing much information seeking on their CT side. Although Oscar is slowly creeping towards top mid. Rotating back to the site now as the push comes in towards Sean.
His crossfire has been pretty good in the past, and Steeko defends. Oscar down immediately. It's up to Rops and Steeko. They are the only ones that can stop this. Now just Rops still holding on. 3 players on the site though. Nice elevated position, but spotted out by Guardian. Chris pushes the smoke and finds himself at the mercy of a FaZe, a victorious FaZe. Finally, it took them a long time to get there, but finally they managed to make it work.
That was quite the test. But now you wonder if